So let's start, team. Let's start the webinar. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Varun Prashant. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar hosted by Consulting and Beyond. For those of you who are new to us, we are a business and financial advisory firm serving clients across India with solutions mapped with the corresponding needs of the client. Our strength lies in not just giving advice, but in helping businesses implement practical strategies that create visible impact. That's why we are beyond consulting and beyond. Today's session is a part of that effort, taking up a very real and timely challenge faced by retailers every festival season. With 25 years of experience, 75 team members, and 90% client retention, we are into the fields of profit maximization, process reengineering, inventory optimization, valuations and fundraising, business and home loans, ERP and automation advisory. The four verticals of consulting and beyond are management consulting, corporate finance, tax advisory, and audit and assurance. Now, the webinar is presented by the management consulting team. Following on to our mentors of consulting and beyond, Mr. C.A. Umesh Kulecha and Mrs. Ratandeep Umesh. And the today's speakers are myself, Varun, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Sivaraman, and Mr. Dinesh. So, as we dive into festive store management made simple, that's the topic of today's webinar. I encourage you to think of this session not just as theory, but as an interaction. At the end, I will be happy to take questions and hear your own festive retail stories or queries. With that, let's get started. Many of us here would have experienced this kind of scenario during peak festive seasons. Customer everywhere, queues spilling over, and staff running in all directions. Now, when we look at this, it's easy to think this is just a part of the festive rush. But if you notice closely, overcrowding brings hidden risks. Lost sales because customer drops their baskets when waiting gets too long. Safety concerns because in a rush, even a small incident can escalate quickly. And most importantly, customer dissatisfaction. A family that leaves unhappy during Diwali shopping may not come back the next season. The truth is, none of us can control festive crowds by instinct or good intentions alone. Without proper approaches, frameworks, and proven methodologies, chaos will always win over order. Festivals are a time of joy, celebration, and togetherness. But for retail businesses, festivals also make or break opportunities. Especially here in Tamil Nadu, Diwali alone accounts for almost 40% of the annual retail revenue for many stores. Imagine nearly half of the year's business gets squeezed into just a few weeks. That's exactly why festive store management isn't just a good practice, it's survival and growth strategy. Now, what happens when festive store management is overlooked? Poor crowd handling means customers abandon their baskets midway. Long queues frustrate families, and many of them won't return the next season. And of course, safety lapses, whether it's overcrowding, stock mismanagement, or building errors, can cause not just financial loss, but long term damage to the store's reputation. On the flip side, when festive operations are managed well, customer flow is smooth, staff are confident and coordinated, sales are maximized because customers feel comfortable and cared for. Over the next hour, we will be walking through the powerful ways to manage festive store operations effectively and efficiently. Think of it as a roadmap that covers people, process, and performance. Thank you. Over to Mr. Kevin.
Good afternoon, all. Let's start our session with a poll. Next slide. Yeah. The poll is how many of you have faced building or crowd issues during the last festive season? I hope we can dive into the answer of yes. Because whom doesn't face these issues? If yes is your answer, then this session is for you. Let's dive into the next 50 minutes on how a festive store management can be done in an effective manner. Next slide. Oh, I think we can stop the poll and let's dive into the topic. Inventory and stock readiness. When we talk about retail readiness, we usually focus on what's visible, store displays, offers, promotions, and staff training. But the real invisible backbone that holds everything together is the inventory and stock readiness. Because customers walk in on what's on the shelf, not what's on the warehouse. Because when a customer arrives, he expects his desired product to be on the shelf, uh, to be easily uh, uh, to be easily obtained from him. A store can run big promotions, but if shelves are empty, stocks are misplaced, or products are unavailable at the right time, the entire customer experience collapses. Inventory readiness quietly drives customer satisfaction, sales performance, and operational stability. Customers never see how we plan stock, they only feel the absence of it. Empty racks, delayed assistance, or clustered aisles. That's why inventory isn't just about numbers, it's the foundation for smooth crowd flow, quick decision making, and controlled operations. The better your inventory system, the calmer your store feels, even on the busiest festive days. Generally, in our audits, we often find that 70 to 80% of the festive crowd issues trace back not to manpower shortages but to inventory plannings, where the gaps occurs. That's how critical this inventory system is. Next slide. Why inventory is the core of crowd management. Customers doesn't notice stock planning, but they feel the absence of it. Imagine walking into a store, spotting a product about not finding your size, or not finding the suitable color, or navigating around the stores finding the suitable product. It will all cause customer dissatisfaction. That's not poor crowd control, that's poor inventory control. When shelves are constantly filled, the crowd flow becomes neutral, stock planning ensures aisles stay clean, and replacements happen at the right time. The staff doesn't panic even on festive days. Think about the weekends or festival evenings. Most crowd chaos start because the stock is being refilled during the customer hours or there is a stock mismatch during the hours. When we plan your stock movements, even 500 customers feel like a 250 customers. So crowd management doesn't begin at the entrance; it begins with the inventory when it's placed at the right time at the right amount. We've seen retailers who introduce timely refilling and aisle disciplines reduce customer problems to a nearly 30% levels. Without adding in any additional manpower, these results can be achieved through proper planning. Now let's move to the next slide on how to ensure the practices to attain this situation. So the key practice is demand forecasting. The first key practice and the most scientific one, yet ignored most in the most part of the festive season, because every festive season some categories may be overstocked or some categories may sell out yearly. This is because of the guesswork which is done by us instead of relying on data. The key answer lies with your own data, because from last year's data you can really read the pattern the customers prefer in the sales, and we can use certain tools like VRQ, which we have discussed in our past webinars in detail, which is available in the YouTube link at the end of the slide. So if you have time, please go through the contents which we have already posted in the webinars. So this helps with the VRQ. We can have a proper planning and understanding what sells faster per day per category. We should identify our hotspots, sections like saris, kidswear, on all other sections, we should ensure that we both have the stock depth and the team strength to handle the chaos. Also, plan time-based buffers for adding 100 to 10 to 15% more stocks during the team to sustain the crowd which is being populated during those times. When your forecast anticipates the footfall, your store runs ahead of the season, but not behind it. That's when a customer feels a difference between a busy store and a chaotic one. Next stop. The next key practice is pre-sorted stock kits. The next best practice, that is an operational excellence, starts at a pre-sorted stock kits. When inventory arrives already ready, sorted by size, color, and design, refilling becomes a simple open and place job. It eliminates confusion and ensures faster turnaround on the floor. It also prevents staffs from opening cartoons in front of customers, something that breaks the customer's visual appeal. And the aisles stay clean and the shopping experience feel more organized in this manner. Before the festive period, ensure that barcodes are correctly placed and all the schemes and discounts are activated and tested on a daily basis. Because the festive season most consists of most theft and other malpractices. So we have to ensure that all the products barcodes are placed and all the discounts and schemes are activated and tested on a routine basis. Many retailers lose hours because new stocks arrive with a missing barcode or duplicates from warehouse. Testing it early avoids billing delays and customer frustration. Remember, the goal is to make the product ready to sell at the moment it reaches the store. It's about shifting the workload from the store to the warehouse where the work belongs. Yeah. So next, move to the next slide. The third pillar of this concept is replenishment rhythm, the heartbeat of daily sales. The rhythm, the heartbeat of daily retail, the disciplined rhythm prevents panic during refilling times. Heavy refills should happen on a daily basis before or after closing the shop. It should be done by runners who doesn't interpret the customers, whose pathway doesn't merge with those of the customers. Light refills should happen at a frequent interval of 60 to 90 minutes, scheduled like a clockwise work. Always use back aisles or pathways which avoid crowded areas. This is to ensure that the crowd is not being contaminated by our own pathways. Before the festive season kicks off, conduct a kickoff meeting or a pep talk where you remind your team that stock refillment isn't just a movement, it's a presentation. The goal is to keep the shelves full but not cluttered. Push old an additional data which can be useful for in the festive period is we can do an aging analysis of the stocks in the warehouse and push the old stocks to the floor during this time. Festive footfall is the best opportunity to clear old designs at the full value. When your rhythm is right, the staff work with energy and not extraction. The customer feels the flow, the shop feels alive. Display real-time stock alerts to your salesman during your kickoff meeting, and that may happen. That may ensure that the stocks are being replenished at the right time. The demand is being done at the proper forecasting rates, and you can ensure that the transaction between the warehouse and the store is being done at the right time. Now let's move to the next section where Mr. Shivaraman will explain the details of customers inflows and outflows.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Welcome all to the team. Am I audible?
Yes, you can continue.
Thank you all for coming to our webinar. Let's move into one of the most underestimated aspects of retail, the customer's inward journey. The journey decides what the word of mouth for the customer. Imagine your store like Tirupati Darshan. Okay, when there is flow control, the darshan is smooth. It will be perfect. When there is no control, even God cannot help you. The crowds will be, I mean, plummeting into the store, and if you don't have any flow control, that results in a very awkward situation to you and your entire brand name as well. Next, please. Let's jump into a poll. Where does you consider in your store, where does the customer experience starts? That's the poll. I request everyone to answer the poll Yeah, I think everyone is answering. I'm expecting further more answers from team. Fine. Let me wait for 10 more seconds. Yeah. So let me close the poll. Here, almost 43% of people have said that customer experience starts from store entry. What we suggest is actual customer experience starts from the parking, where the customer parks your vehicle and gets into the store. That's where the actual experience starts. Retailers often focus on what happens inside the store, often spend crores on merchandising, billing, inventory. But the simple truth is, a customer's memory of your store is anchored at 2 points: the first 30 seconds at entry and the last 10 minutes at exit. Uh, as I told you, when a customer is getting in, uh, the initial experience, what he uh, takes from your parking will be continuing till the end. These two, the first 30 seconds and the last 10 minutes decides whether a family goes home praising your store or complaining about it. In psychology, people call this the primacy and recency effect. People remember the first and last moments most strongly. Everything in between becomes fussy. So if the entry feels frustrating or the existing exit feels chaotic, even a family that spent 25,000 in your store and leaves with a sore taste, and when they narrate a story at home, they don't talk about your collection. They say parking was hell and billing took forever. It never ended. It took a lot of time. So let's break into this down into three stages of the customer experience. One is first impression at entry, in-store navigation, and exit funnel. Yes. In first impression at the entry. This is the emotional start point of the shopping journey. Think about the customer experiencing before they even touch your touch your doorstep, or if they struggle for 15 minutes to park, their shopping mood is already spoiled. Parking is not an outside logistics, it's the first impression of your store's professionalism. If it's chaotic, you have already lost trust before the first product is touched or sold. Segregate uh, how we can do it. Segregate the two-wheeler and four-wheeler parking. It avoids cross traffic. If you don't separate two-wheeler and four-wheeler, you create friction, delays, and even small accidents. In congested places, consider tie up with nearby schools, temple courtyards, or even a small marriage hall if available. Customer will forgive a slightly longer walk if the parking is guided and orderly. Many retailers think that wallets are a luxury, but even two staffs with reflective jackets guiding vehicles can reduce the chaos. A family that parked smoothly feels relief, and that positivity flows into their shopping mood. Yes. Once the customer comes into parks his vehicle and comes into the store, as the customer walks in, they carry expectations. If the very step is a long chaotic line, the customer will start get irritated. On the other hand, if the entry is smooth, festive, and welcoming, you set the tone for a happy shopping experience. Don't wait for the customers to chase trolleys and basket. Greeters, greeters can hand it proactively. This feels like you are caring for them, or you are taking special attention for them. Ambience plays a huge role. A lamp at the entry, a fresh column or the at the doorway, and some Tamil Nadaswaram or traditional music's playing. These are cultural signals that immediately tell the family this is a special shopping moment. Customers often don't articulate it, but consciously their brain switches from routine errand to celebration mode. In retail psychology, the entry environment primes the brain for spending. When the first 60 seconds are positive, customers are more forgiving for small irritations later. A festive welcome means customer starts their journey positive. A bad entry, however, makes them notice every small flaw inside the store. Inside the store, customer flow management is very critical. Otherwise, you get crowd piled up everywhere or every hotspot locations. This can be done to a large extent by following the below strategies. One is the visual signages, identifying the heat zones, and trial room flow. By regulating these things, a majority of the crowd pileups can be addressed. In-store navigation or visual signages. In airports, the reason we don't get lost isn't the number of staff, it's the signage, the board, the arrow, the symbol. They subconsciously guide every step. During Diwali, our stores are filled with families, children, and elderly people. So confusion is the enemy of experience. Just a minute. During Diwali, our stores are filled with families. So well-placed signages or create a stress-free, self-guided, perfectly enjoyable shopping flow. Some suggestions or ideas can be using, go to the previous slide, please. Yes, by using bold or festive colored sign categories, saris, kids wear, footwear, billing or trial room, these kind of signboards, by keeping the signboards bilingual, using directional arrows. So every 10 to 15, when a customer is walking for a 10 feet, there should be some directional arrows which should guide them to where they need to go. So adding overhanging boards, these things will guide customers in a very clearer way. A signage doesn't just guide, it saves 30 seconds per customer. Multiply that by 2000 customers in a day. You have saved somewhere around 16 man hours of chaos. That is around you are spending 2 to 3 man hours can be reduced by a better signage. Yes. Now let's talk about the hot zones, the areas that attract maximum Diwali crowd. You will usually see high sales pattern where kids wear silks or ethnic wears during Diwali season because every family shops new clothes for the children. Or home decor and gifting sections might also attract some additional routes. Identify these zones early using last year's sales data or footfall maps. Now, in these areas, replicate the airport concept again. Place fast track billing pods or close by, just like check-in counters at every terminal. Add trial room pods right within that section. For example, if a section is attracting more crowd and if a person needs to walk for 100 meter or 50 meters somewhere around for just a trial, people might get frustrated. So to that aspect, add some temporary trial pods in that area as well. This reduces internal traffic as well and gives family a sense of ease to give a tryout. Remember, movement comfort will give longer dwell time and higher bill value. Yes, sir. As I said, in the in-store navigation, the third important place where we need to focus is the trial room flow. One major crowd magnet during Diwali is the trial room queue. We have all seen customers standing somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes holding the clothes, frustrated, sweating, sometimes abandoning the purchase as well. The simple fix is token-based trial rooms. Almost most of the stores now have the token-based trial rooms, but how many stores are using it effectively? That's where the key aspect is going. Customers takes a token, continues browsing. When their turn comes, they get called or shown on some small display. It keeps them engaged. And guess what? They keep adding items to their basket while waiting for their turn to give a trial. So that way you can increase their basket value as well. So navigation isn't just crowd control thing. It directly increases the conversion and sales per visit of every customer. Uh, Now goes the exit funnel. Actually, so far we have discussed about the entry and the in-store experience of a customer. And what about the exit funnel? Now comes the most decisive moment. This is the last 10 minutes. This is where the families who buy in bulk either feel relief or grit. That means bulk shopping, more bags, and longer checkouts. If we manage their last 10 minutes well through customer launches, parcel counters, and smooth exit flow, they go home somewhere in a very happy manner. Then they will tell 10 relatives about the experience. If you don't, all the hard work inside the store gets forgotten. So remember this line: first impression at entry and last impression at exit. Decide your word of mouth. If packing, billing, and exit are chaotic, the negative word of mouth spreads faster than any advertisement you are spending. We can broadly classify this exit funnel into three major categories. That is queue engineering, customer launches, and one way out. Let us see about each classification in detail in the following slides. Firstly, let us discuss about the queue engineering. Imagine customers have spent somewhere around 90 minutes of shopping, cart is full, kids are cranky, and grandparents are already tired. So at this point, if a billing takes 40 minutes or they are juggling ton bags with no seating, everything is turning negative. No matter how great the store is or how well the collections are, the customers will obviously feel for why. I mean, feel or communicate or spread a negative word of mouth alone. So some best practices to address here is uh, some separate launches or for bigger or smaller bills. So families with somewhere around 25,000 plus purchase should not block customers who are buying just few items. Fast track lane should ensure furthermore, or smoother flow or happier customers. Some exclusive counters for very less quantity or somewhere around less than 3 items who are purchasing. If there is an express counter, that eases the flow of other customers as well. Adjust the staff location dynamically. If a section has high volume and low value, in this kind, add more billers. If there is a low volume and high value, add some more skilled staff or cashiers. See, for example, what we are trying to say is, if there is an inner section where somewhere every customer will pick somewhere around 10 to 15 pieces in your store, and there is only one biller, it will take more time for the biller, and the cashier will be idle, and there will not be a flow. Similarly, on the other hand, if there is a line where only one or two products will be sold, for example, putty section or some high value item section, if there is the billing will be fast moving, and the bottleneck will be the cash counter. If you are allocating the manpower appropriately, then the entire queue will be properly engineered to ease the flow. There will not be any stagnations around. Next upon, we can see the customer launch. Customer launch, when we mean by customer launch, it doesn't not necessarily need to be a well sophisticated customer launch. This is an emotional relief for families. Whenever a customer has completed his purchase and waiting for his products, even a chair or a sip of water, and the staff support staff who was supporting their heavy lifting from one place to the exit, those things give a wow moment for the customers. It gives the impression that they care for us. So this is where the customer launch or customer post customer billing, post billing, the customer care happens. And in the exit funnel, we are into the last part of exit funnel, where I'll get back to the same airport example. Airport manages thousands of passengers through one-way pathways. Notice how you can't walk back against the flow. In stores, the same logic can prevent congestion. Using rope dividers or flow arrows or visual barricades to subtly guide traffic. We just need to guide the traffic in one direction and make them to enter into the hot zones, billing and exit. If everything has been done on a navigation basis, families won't have to zigzag or bump into others. So it also allows the staff to serve more efficiently. They know exactly where to expect customer movement. Design your stores exit as a single guided loop where customers move effortlessly from billing to packing to exit, just like airport traffic. So subtly, we can make the staff as traffic marshals, directing flow and assisting families as they move out, ensuring no crossovers or crowding. A parcel counter near the exit prevents baggage congestion inside the store and allows customers to move, to shop or move freely. Finally, extend the experience beyond the door. Staff assist, I mean, make your staff to assist the customers till the parking. Let them carry their, if there is a huge amount of weight, or if an elderly person is carrying some 5 or 10 bags, let your staff help them until the parking to, go out. So together, this creates the frictionless final impression, the kind that turns busy Diwali shopper into a loyal customer. So in summary, pre-entry sets the mood. Entry primes, I mean, the entry at the point or the greeter primes the buying mindset of a customer. Navigation keeps customer engaged. And finally, exit creates the lasting memories. For retailers, these are not just operational points. They are marketing touch points. Manage them well, and your store markets itself, it markets through your customer price itself. It will be passing through the word of mouth. So with this, I'll complete my part, and I'm handing over the session to our colleague Dinesh. Dinesh, over to you.
Yes, thanks, Shivaraman. And next, we are going to see about what is operational requirements. It's runs a festival event. Next slide. Once again, thanks to Shivaraman and to my colleagues. Now, we have already seen how inventory readiness and customer flow design are invisible backbone of Diwali success, which is festival success, any festival success. So now let's move into the operational side, how we actually run the store during the high pressure day, which the festival seasons are always called as high pressure day, because as at the start of the session my teammate colleague Varun has informed that so many things we need to stick to it. High footfall will be high, and moreover staffs will be tired, so we want to look at everything. So in that place we have seen upon inventory readiness and customer flow. Now we are going to see on operations. That's the topic, from stock and flow to operations on the ground. That we are going to see. For example, let's think engine room. What engine room contains? The engine room will have system, people, and discipline, which keeps the room run smoothly and do their work politely. So likewise in textile business also, whatever the business, we need to make the system, people, and discipline in the proper line to make the festival run like a temple event. That's what we are going to see in this day in the upcoming slides. Next slide. Before moving to slide, we will see one poll. You can answer which operational gaps hurts your store most. As you can see the poll in your screen, there are 4 options: billing, or manpower, or safety, or staff fatigue. Which one makes more operational gap? Everybody answer. We'll wait for 10 more seconds. Yes, thank you, sir. You have texted manpower. We will add it. Can we get still 5 to 10 more answers? We'll wait for a second. Yeah, we got still one more while waiting for a second. Okay, let's end the poll. See, we'll share the results here. As the question asks, which operational gaps hurts your store most? So out of the answers, billing is more, which is 43%. 43% of the audience selected billing is more operational gaps. So let's see one by one. In upcoming slide, we will see what billing, manpower, safety, and staff fatigue. Move on to next slide. So to line this all the thing, we need to have proper template, which we named as festival operational templates. It's every successful store needs a proper template, which is known as festival operation templates. What it contains means it will have billing points, manpower points, safety points, as well as staff welfare points. Why? The question is why? Because when the festival rush begins, there is no time for improvisation. Everybody will look whatever they want. So customer flow will be high. So what we will do at that time during festival, we will just see the customer. We will divert the customer to another section. We will ask them to purchase. After we will ask them to bill. So there will not be proper flow if we do not have any plan. So when we are having the festival operation template, we will have proper report section, and it creates repeatability. So every year when we are refining it, and your store will move smoother and stronger if you are using the festival operation template. Remember, as it suggested, we should not start plan the festival template in the month of festival, which is Deepavali. We should prepare 2 months prior the festival season. It may be any festival. Now we are majorly focusing on Deepavali. Can we move on to next slide? Yeah. in that festival operation templates, we will start with the billing and payments. So at first will be, as the title suggests, billing is the heartbeat of the store. It is very, very important to each and every store. So bill, customers will be patient during the purchase. Like if we are going to purchase saris, kids wears, and men's wear, ladies wear, whatever. When while during the time, customer will be very patient and polite. But at the moment when they reach billing, they need speed. They expect speed. So nobody will want to wait for a long time in billing. So we want to increase the billing service higher. For that, we will have 4 practices which will make huge impacts. First will be decentralized billing pods, which is whenever the hot sections, which is the session which has more sales, we want to create billing pods inside the section, because it will reduce the pressure from main counter. Customers going to main counter after huge purchase can be reduced in the place of decentralized billing pods, which will make customer to bill their products quickly. And it's decentralized billing pods means it will fix in the hot sections. It will be closed when the section is very high, when the sales is very high, that will be open. Likewise, we will have second point will be, we will try to have mobile POS tablets, which is what means some of the customers will be came for purchasing very small items in small quantities. So for that customers, we will try to bill using the mobile pods, because it will not take time and it will not need much more place to have the products. So due for the small purchases, we will have mobile POS tablets and we will bill the products right at the place of the customer. And the third will be new UPI nudging, which is now everybody wants to pay at card, cash, UPI. It depends upon the customer. But if the customers is planned to pay using card, our staff need to suggest the customer that, madam, card payment will be little slow or little delay, but you can use UPI, which will be faster in the place of payment. So likewise, our staff want to politely suggest customers to pay using the UPIs. Next will be consolidation desk, which is for Diwali season, everybody is coming for to purchase for families. So whenever the more purchase is there, at the consolidation desks are used for merging the family products. So we want to maintain these 4 practices, which will make huge difference in the billing places. Like the like the quote says, billing jumps are like traffic jumps. Everyone remember the pains, which is if you are going in road, if the traffic is higher, you will not forget it for most period. So we should not make billing jumps, because it will be strongly have taught in the customers. So it should be faster. Move on to next slide. As our festive operation templates contain, second is manpower. In manpower, we have separated into splits into 3. First will be people flow. The people flow, it's always needs a people control. That means crowd can never be managed without a clear accountability. So we need proper accountability for the staffs itself. Then only we can able to control the crowd. And the first one will be zone captains, which is for each and every sections: kids wear, men's wear, ladies wear, saris. All the sections should have one proper responsible person. For the everything's happening in that section will be responsible for that person. So next will be marshal staffs. Marshal staff means it's their only for crowd control, which is their only job is to control the crowd. They are differentiated using wearing jackets or armbands, like the thing they will be having. Likewise, they should have walkie talkies, and they are also the staff communicators. For like each floors, the marshal staff will have the differentiations like jackets or armbands, as well as they will have walkie talkies, because they will need to have proper communication between staffs in each and every floors. Next will be floating staff. Floating staff in the sense, we should not assign every employees to every sections. We should have 10 to 15% of staff as floating staff. We should not assign section to that people, because if suppose any session is suddenly bored, then the staff need to go to that section, and they need to do the sales. If the section when the session gets down, then the floating staff should come to the normal place, where the other place where the crowds are higher. Next will be backup POS stop. This is very important point, because if billing may be higher or billing may be lower, but we should have the backup POS staff. They should train and activate it when the queues are more than 10 minutes. We are telling that's 10 minutes, but it depends upon. And the customer needs urgent billing, we can split the customer into another POS, and we should open another counter and we will make the payment. Like it should like an army regiment. There will be proper discipline, proper visibility, and quick response. That's major thing in people control. Next slide. And as I told, in manpower, first will be people flow, next will be shift and rotation, which is the title suggesting. Keeping staff fresh is making the customers happy. That's very important. Here, another operational mistake many store makers overworking staffs. As the gray thing suggests that when the staffs are very tired, then the service will be very delayed. When the service are delayed, then customers will become angry. Then the loyalty between the customer and management will be very low. So we should make proper shift rotation. We should, to fix this, we should have three proper points, which is first will be we should rotate shift for stops at every 3 hours. We should, the responsible person should, as we spoke in the last slide, there should be a zone in charge, there zone captain. He or she should notice each and every employee. Whenever the employee is getting tired, or whenever the employee is getting more sub customers, then the employee need to be shifted to the some rest place. Then only we can avoid the fatigue and billing errors. Next will be micro breaks plus refreshments, which is we want to give small breaks and refreshments to the staffs, because it will make the staff to focus sharply and do their work correctly. And next will be, at the start of every day we should have meeting, which in that meeting it should be very short and sharp and energizing, to that will make the, that will make our employees to be energized throughout the day. For example, if you see our staff is smiling even at 10 p.m., then the customer will definitely remember our staff's smiling, except the discount they got, because the customer satisfaction is more higher than the discount. So we want to make our staff always fresh. Then only we will get customers happy. Move on to next. As we spoke, we have seen billing, manpower, and billing manpower. Now we'll move on to safety. As the title suggests, it's very important. Safety is sales insurance. So to make the sales insurance best, we want to aware of these 5 topics very best. First thing will be footfall counter. We want to track each and every minute footfall in the store, because it will make the employees know and aware of how to they behave, and whether in the time they can able to take risk, or in the time they can able to do higher task, or the floating stop need to be shuffled, as floating stop not need to be shuffled. This will be decided upon the customer footfall counters. Next will be zone density alerts. Each and every hour, every zone should be monitored, where they should have the proper command that this is top. In this zone the customers are higher. In this zone the customers are moderate. In this zone the customers are low. So during that time, the employees need to be aware, and they need to be behave on basis of the zones, red zone or yellow zone or green zone. And next will be evacuation span and drills, which is, it's not just paper. Evacuation means and drills means it's not just paper. Employees should be trained before the season. So they should be practiced before every season, not seasons, but during season we need to be very strict to the plan, because it is very important to each and every store. Next will be first aid and ambulance tie-ups. Whenever the footfall is higher, we need to have first aids and ambulance tie-up. So we cannot tell anything can happen we can tell anything can happen at any time. So we should be aware of anything, any time. First aid should be had in each and every floor. If possible, we should have each and every section, the first aid should be there. Then the major thing will be CCTV monitoring. The CCTV person needs to be monitor each and every camera at every time, which is very important in our place. Because if they fail to, if our staff fail to recognize the customer, then the customer becomes angry, our customer loyalty becomes down. So during that time, if the CCTV team is monitoring, then he can insist the staff to see there is a customer which is they are waiting for 10 to 15 minutes. So you need to take care of them, and then which will make little bit so okay in the store everything is noticed. So we will be have proper support, like which there will be customer will be satisfied. Next will be one safety labs can erase years of goodwill. So we need to have proper safety and securities. Next slide, please. And next will be staff welfare. And as we spoke in festive operation, which is final important thing, staff welfare. During peak days, staffs are your greatest assets. So suppose if they collapse, your store collapses. So we want to create proper rest zones and proper refreshment corners. And we want to have recognition rituals, which is motivation. On daily basis, we want to motivate each and every best performers in their section, not only in the sales place. We want to recognize the best seller in each and every section, and we want to recognize and motivate best biller, best cashier, and best marshal staff, because it will improve their motivation and it will make them work more and more. And the next will be we should have proper hydration and snacks, which is refreshment corners. And as we say, festivals are marathons, not sprints. So staff always needs marathon stamina to run a marathon. They are not going for sprint, they are doing marathons. Moving to next slide. And the key takeaways from festival operations, which is, so what's the big picture means, festival season is not about adding more peoples, it's about our building bigger counters. It's about managing the operations properly, which is it's about discipline, structure, and safety. That's what we have seen in my part. That's the clear indication. More people is not equal to better operations. We should have proper discipline, structure, and safety. When we build a clear festival operation templates and refine year after year, we are not just sell more. We creating an experience where the customer celebrate inside our store, not outside. Diwali celebrating outside our store, but when we are having the proper operational line, the customers will celebrate inside our store, which is very important. So when the operations are tight, sales soar naturally, and the customer experience will keep families coming back years after year. That's what we have mentioned clearly in bottom. Discipline plus safety plus structure is equal to operational success. Next slide. Yes, to conclude, as we seen across all our sections today, Deepavali success is never about just one piece of the puzzle. Its first inventory is the invisible backbone. If stock planning fails, shelf goes empties, curtains goes alive, and customers walk away. It's very lost. So it should be perfect. Then customer flow is experiencing it. Just like my teammate told, it's just like airports or temple darshans. It should be smooth movement, creates customer happy. If not, there will be frustrations, jumps, and everything will collapse the customer flow. Next will be operation. As I spoke, it's like an engine room. As I mentioned at start, it's like an engine room. So the building speed, manpower, discipline, safety, and staff welfare. These four things will make the store actually deliver under pressure. That's what we are clearly maintaining. Inventory plus customer plus operational is it gives the success. So when all three connects, the outcome is not just sales, but reputations, loyalty, and repeat business. This is true festival formula. Inventory plus customer plus operations. Next. Next slide. So we'll move on to question and answers. Regarding questions, is anybody is having doubt, you can ask. You can ask in Tamil also, it's no issue. Our team as well as our managers are ready to answer for all your questions. So this platform is for you. So everybody wants to question. Do you have any questions? You can chat in chat box also. We will read and we will answer. Yes, நீங்க தமிழ்ல கூட கேளுங்க. It's no issues. If anything, you can ask in Tamil. We are ready to answer for all your questions. Yeah, you can use chat box as well as unmute and ask. கேளுங்க, என்ன டவுட் இருந்தாலும் கேளுங்க, no issues. Thanks. But sorry, we do not recognize who the person is. Okay, there is no question, I think. Our team will share the feedback for the session in the chat box, and as well as our team will share our YouTube links, which will have more and more webinars regarding the management consulting businesses, as well as all the aspects from the 4 verticals of our company you can see. So as we close, thank you and wishing everyone here a smooth and safe and prosperous Diwali season.